There's something that diamond players have that most players don't, and that is not only the macro understanding of the game, but also the micro understanding of the game. So here I'm going to be showing you the one of my favorite tips on how to actually win games in Merge Tactics, and it's not one of the things that you might think of. This is a very niche tactic of how you can win a lot of games very quickly. And now this tactic is sometimes in the first rounds to hide your troops on the bench. It is very nice because your opponent will not know what position your troops are at, and you're going to be able to win a lot more games than you typically would. So at the start of every round, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my troops back to the bench, and I'm going to drag the troops that I buy back onto my bench manually, as opposed to, sometimes maybe just tapping it where they would automatically go out on the board. Now I noticed that this guy has a Dart Goblin, a something else that he had out there. I noticed that he had a Golden Knight, a Dart Goblin, and a Spear Goblin out there. And so I'm going to be able to position my troops accordingly so that way the Golden Knight doesn't get a dash and I'm going to be able to do as much damage as I possibly can to him. Now, after you are in the first rounds, a lot of people will start to pick up on which comp you're running. So therefore, the comp you're running really doesn't matter quite as much, or hiding your things on the bench doesn't really matter as much because obviously people already know what you're running. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to change up the positioning of your cards at the last second. So this is about, gathering your opponent not gathering enough information to be able to place his cards how you are. So it's more like instead of hiding all your cards on the bench so they don't know what cards you have, instead you would go ahead and just change your positioning at the last placement just to switch things up a little bit. And most of the times, that's going to keep your opponents on their toes, and it's going to go ahead and get you a lot of wins that you wouldn't have otherwise. So this is the Ascension modifier, and I'm going to go ahead and get the Witch here, and I don't actually know what comp I'm going to play yet, but I'm sure I'm going to figure it out down the road. I'm looking for probably going to go for a Clan comp just because I have that 3-star Witch right there, and hopefully we can get this Goblin synergy to work right here. Unfortunately, we are playing the Golden Knight, but what we're going to do is we're going to just keep our troops the same until the final seconds, and we're going to start preparing to kind of move our troops at the last second to right here. And I actually didn't get my Knight switched out for the Barbarian right here, but the hope is that the Golden Knight will not get a kill easily here, and unfortunately it is maybe going to, and hopefully it is not going to be able to dash through my entire team. I know that they did cap his dashes at 3, but that is unfortunate. We do not take that round right there. That is okay though. We can go ahead and go into the next round. We're going to go ahead and go for our full clan here. Let's actually go ahead and pivot from full clan to something a little bit different. Let's go ahead and get our Dart Goblin here, and we're going to do a Ranger deck just because I needed that Goblin synergy for some extra elixir. I'm going to go ahead and get the Archer right here, and I really want to sell something for this 3-star Archer. I think I am probably just going to wait off though. Could I sell anything? I really realistically can't sell anything without giving up a big thing. And right there, I did not switch up my troops because I did not see a main threat to my Witch, which is currently my win condition. I could potentially lose this, but that would be because I did not get a good troop on Ascension, which, it does happen. Unfortunately, his Queen has not gone into ability yet, so hopefully we can take the Dart Goblin out, and we do, which is very good, but unfortunately his Queen is not going to go down. Get the Executioner out, please. We stay in the game, very luckily, but that is okay, or that is good, very, very good. We're going to go ahead and get the Goblin here, and we're going to keep getting some more Goblins, and I'm going to go ahead and sell the Goblin to cycle through the Musketeer. I just passed up the Queen, that's very unfortunate. Let's see if we can get her back. We're not going to. Let's go ahead and cycle here some more. There's the Queen. We're going to go ahead and put her in for the Goblin here, because actually, we're going to keep the Goblin in for one more. Wait, what's he playing? Is this the... Yeah, just the 3-star Goblin, so we should win this, and I'm just going to keep the Goblin in for the 1 extra elixir, and then maybe sell it later on, and we're going to go ahead and switch our placement like that. Now, the reason why you're going to want to switch all your placements up is because a lot of the top players and a lot of players in Diamond will gather information about your placements, and when you're at top ladder, you're going to be able to counter those very easily, and that's part of what, being a Diamond player is all about, is 1, knowing how to counter your opponents, and 2, knowing how to kind of switch things up at the last second. And it's actually one of the highest skill plays that you can do in the game. is to kind of, switch that comp last second, kind of look at your opponent's comp and be able to adjust to it. And it's something that a lot of people don't do, which they definitely should. And what we're going to do here is, because we see this 3-star Archer Queen at the corner right here, we're going to switch our troops away from it and go into a corner at the last second. That way our witch can do a lot of damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our troops like this, and then we're going to switch at the last second, hopefully. We're going to go ahead and go like this for all of our troops to get in kind of an anti-queen placement. Now his queen is going to go on our 1-star queen and maybe our archer. Yes, it is going to go on our 1-star queen and our archer, but that's okay because we make his queen do an early ability, and it's going to get my witch to spawn a ton of skeletons. And hopefully we can go ahead and distract that Dark Goblin enough for ours to ramp up, get the queen out of the way, hopefully. Nice, there goes the queen. The witch is just going to do a ton, and we're going to win that game just because our queen was not able to snipe that backline troop there. And that's what I'm saying, is that it's so important to switch up your placements, because I really didn't have the greatest comp there, neither did my opponent, but because I was able to switch my placements last round, he was not able to counter it. Now we are on the mystery shop modifier. I'm actually not too sure how to play it, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy the mystery troop, and I'm going to go ahead and put them on the bench. Now my opponent unfortunately probably did see what I was playing here, because I didn't drag it straight into the bench. Let's go ahead and put our troops like that. And hopefully my Valk will be able to heal up off this Prince charge here. And hopefully we'll just be able to win this game here. We should be able to win with the clan synergy first round, but we actually might not. No, we do not take this win. Unfortunately, we don't actually get any of his troops out of the way, which is kind of surprising, but that is okay. We're going to go ahead and get the Executioner at the start of the next round, and I'm actually going to do the method that I talked about in the first part of this video, and that was dragging the... Ooh, okay. I've never actually seen that before. I didn't know what that was. Okay, as dragging the troop that you want onto the board like this, instead of, maybe, I don't know, instead of, just quick tapping it so the location is automatically shown on the board. I do get the 2-star Valkyrie there instead of maybe a Goblin that I could have gotten, but or the Barb that I could have gotten, but I think that the 2-star Valkyrie is significantly better than a 2-star Barb or anything like that, which is why I decided to get her. Now, we should easily win this round here, because he doesn't have the Ranger synergy or anything, which is really nice. It's really nice to take this early game win. And right now is kind of the point that when it's past the first 2 rounds, I stop, keeping my placements concealed on the bench there. That was a very bad shop round right there. But, right here we're going to go for the Rangers with the clan and Juggernauts, and hopefully we can get a Goblin next round. I'm actually not sure how to play this modifier, so I guess we'll see. But right now we're going to look at his backline troops, and we're going to see that he has Rangers. And so what we're going to do is at the last second, we're once again going to change it up into this placement right here. Now, there actually isn't a rhyme or reason for changing up onto that comp. It's just that I thought that my throwers would be better closer together against this guy, and we would have a better chance, kind of focusing those backline Ranger troops. Now, a big thing with this is that the other people, they don't know where I'm going to play my cards, and that's huge. Like I said, card placement is one of the hardest things to learn in this game. And, ooh, that was a bad move right there. I should have got the Goblin. Okay, let's go ahead and sell our Barbarian for the Goblin right here, and then go ahead and get the Goblin upgraded. And that wasn't a great round, but we're going to go ahead and, take it. We're up against this guy right here who's running a Rangers with the Executioners, and hopefully we're going to just go ahead and switch ours to over here last second with a strong side and a weak side with our Juggernaut placements, and hopefully the Executioner lines up on my Knight instead. Nice, it does do that, and we're going to be able to take out his Knight as well. He doesn't have any healing except for the Executioner, and hopefully that will go down quickly. Luckily our Valkyrie does take that out, but we will unfortunately lose this round, but that is okay. We can take a loss right here. We can afford that. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully play against the dead guy right here. We do. Nice. And so obviously against the dead guy, you don't got to worry about switching up your placements. So we're going to go ahead and keep buying this mystery troop now that it's late game. Ooh, that was kind of bad. And hope that it, works out for us. I think that that's probably the right decision, because I think you do, like, late game when there's less cheap troops in the pool. I think you come out ahead. I could be wrong. Someone let me know. But obviously, you don't have to change up your troops against the dead guy. So we should win this right here, and hopefully one of those guys gets knocked out of the game. But that is really one of the big things, is that it's not only the macro understanding of the game, which is like understanding the game at a large scale and what troops you should buy, but it's also the micro understanding, like these placements and stuff, like the early game cycling to goblins. Those are micro things that only the top players know, that people who are, less experienced at the game might not quite understand fully, but people who really know what they're doing, they do understand. So I'm going to go ahead and keep what I have right here. I don't know if I've been playing this round quite right, but right here against the Prince, we actually have a huge opportunity right here. Notice how he only has the Musketeer to stun, but he does have that Prince. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my troops. I'm going to have a couple backline troops, but the rest I'm going to place right here. I'm going to place these to tank the Prince charge and then hopefully go for his Goblin Machine. Hopefully. It should lock onto the Goblin Machine and then quickly go to his backline troops. Unfortunately, the Goblin does die right there, which is very unfortunate, and we're actually going to be out of this game right here. That's okay. Second is always a win, and we're always going to take that, and we probably wouldn't have got as far as we would have if we wouldn't have used that strategy of obviously selling things on the bench. So what I'm going to do is ultra sneaky this round. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just instantly put that on the bench and then buy something that's along that. I'm going to go ahead and get the Baby Dragon, and maybe we can go for a Fire Baby Dragon comp. Now, I noticed that he's running a backline troop. I'm just going to put both my troops on the backline right here, and I'm going to hope that my Baby Dragon can splash his Spear Goblin. Unfortunately, it does not. I should have put my dummy one tile further back, but that is okay. Our Wizard is going to get powered up with a Fire Synergy right here, and powered up again with the Fire Synergy here, and we're going to take the easy first round win. Now, next round, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Knight and hope for a Goblin Synergy. I'm not going to get it, so I'm going to go for the Baby Dragon. And I'm just going to go ahead and cycle here. I'm not going to worry about being sneaky with my placements this round. I'm just going to worry about getting a Goblin Synergy. Now, unfortunately, I missed that Goblin right there. The Goblin Machine back there. It's very unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and get it right here anyway. But I wasn't able to scout out my opponent right there, so it's going to put me at a very large disadvantage. Luckily, my placements were kind of okay, and unfortunately, what happened to my Spear Goblin? Okay, my regular Goblin, it just got melted, but that's an example of what happens when you don't use your kind of sneakier placement at the last second. Obviously, that guy had a lot more firepower than I did, but I probably would have been able to come out in the lead on that, or come out at least with a couple more troops left. And hopefully we're going to be able to go ahead and get an Executioner here, which we do, which is very nice. So I could sell my Goblin right here. I think I'm actually going to, and then just not going to get anything else this round. But let's see if we can hopefully win this next round. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and make his backline troops walk up to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dummy right here, and I'm just going to move all these to the corner and put my Goblin Machine on this side. The Goblin Machine on that side was actually kind of a misplay. I was thinking about switching in with the dummy, but we'll see if it actually works out. It looks like it might. So luckily for us, we do have the Juggernaut Shield, which is going to protect us from the E-Wiz stun, which will hopefully at least keep us in the game. And unfortunately, the 2-star Xe does quite a bit, but we are luckily going to take that. Once again, with our last second placements, it's a lot easier to win games, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the traditional placement right here, and hopefully cycle through. There's a 2-star Executioner, which is very nice. I could get the 2-star Goblin, but I'm not going to. Actually, I might get the 2-star Goblin here. Let's go ahead and get the 2-star Goblin here, and then get the Mega Knight for the Ace trait. I'm going to go ahead and buy this, and then look at what he's doing. Okay, I did not get to scout out enough right there. I would have switched the Knight with the Mega Knight probably, but hopefully we can go ahead and stay in this game here. And our Mega Knight is going to jump on that back row, which is really... Oh, it didn't jump. No, I got stun reset by the Musketeer. So it's not going to jump, and we might actually be out of this game if our Executioner clutched up. Nice, huge. Let's see if he can continue. Okay, he does not, unfortunately, but we're alive on 1 HP. We should be playing... Okay, unfortunately, we're playing the guy in first. I don't know why, but we get the 3-star Goblin, which is huge. Let's go ahead and get a Giant Skeleton and put him in. And then we're going to go ahead and go for a Knight, and then just our Giant Skeleton right here. And we're going to switch this probably to the corner. Yeah, we're going to switch this dummy to the corner at the last second to draw the placement of the Wizard. And it's not always about switching up your entire comp and the entire placements of your comp. Sometimes it's just about switching one card around so the guy doesn't really understand what you're going for. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw the Spear Goblin and the 2-star Wizard right onto my dummy, which is going to be very valuable for us. And the Giant Skeleton Bomb is going to do nice. We get a nice stun jump from the Mega Knight right there. And hopefully we're going to be able to take this. And we do take a nice win right there. So hopefully we should be playing the guy who's out right now. We're not for some reason. Why are we not playing the guy who's out? Okay, whatever. We're going to go ahead and get the 2-star Mega Knight right here. And then I think that's probably going to be it for us this round. Unfortunately, we may lose this just because we have slightly under-leveled cards compared to this guy. Let's go ahead and switch this back. I actually have an idea of what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go for that very corner placement with the, the anti-assassin placement of what you would traditionally do. But I'm going to go ahead and do it like this last second, and hopefully he's not going to have time to adapt, or hopefully he just doesn't adapt at all. And I didn't even realize that my my trait dummy was Ranger. I would have put a Dark Goblin in probably, but hopefully we can go ahead and get a nice Mega Knight off here. I don't know if we're going to be able to take this. Probably not here. We're probably going to end up doing third just because we got very unlucky with who we played. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and go into our next game here, and we're going to show you guys once again how the how this synergy, or how this strategy really helps your playstyle. So right off the bat, this is a promotion round. I'm going to go ahead and put my Goblin in the slot, so he's not going to be able to see it. I'm going to get a Valkyrie here, and I'm going to get a Knight. Now, this is a wonderful start for us, and we notice that he's got Thrower and a Skeleton Dragon. So we're going to go ahead and go for our Valkyrie here, switch it, and then put the... That is... okay. That's what you don't want to do with this. You don't want to wait too long. Obviously, we're probably still going to win here, and he's going to put that in the promotion slot. I'm not going to put mine in the promotion slot, but we're probably still going to win here just because we got lucky that it was promotion. But that's exactly what you don't want to do, is you don't want to wait too long and, use too much time, take too much time to put your stuff out there on the bench. That's very unfortunate, and that's what you don't want to do. So we're going to do the same thing again and hopefully not make the mistake that we did last time. We're going to go ahead and get the Valkyrie right here, and I think I'm going to sell it for the Dark Goblin, and we're going to go ahead and use the Goblin Synergy just to farm some Elixir right here. Now, what I'm going to do is, I noticed that he's playing Goblins with the Thrower, or the, not Thrower, he's playing Ranger with the Spear Goblin. So I'm just going to put my troops on the back line. That way my Executioner can hopefully run up and get the Spear Goblin out of the way. And unfortunately, we're probably not going to get another troop out of here. Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and stay in this game. So now, round 3, I'm kind of done with the whole hiding my troops method. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the just switching things up at the last second. We do get a Dark Goblin here, which is very nice. We're going to go ahead, or a Spear Goblin, which is very nice. I'm going to go ahead and get a, I'm going to go ahead and actually maybe level up this Executioner. I thought about running a Sneaky Assassin, but I just got some good merges on there, and a 2-star Executioner was very nice for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that instead. I'm going to switch it up to a strong side at the last second, so hopefully his Valkyrie is going to be wasted. And we're just going to see if my Executioner should target the Valkyrie, and then it's going to die, and then we're going to get a nice Executioner lineup on that Skeleton Dragon, and hopefully win this round. We do. Great start, or decent start here as far as the placement goes. Very good start as far as the troop scale. And I am still running this Thrower Synergy, or the Thrower comp that I have always been running, and I'm going to go ahead and get this here for the Juggernaut, and hopefully next round I can get 3-star Goblin, which is going to be very helpful. Now I notice right here that he's putting his Executioner into Spear Goblin. I notice that he's putting all that in the front line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a backline snipe here with my Executioner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my troops like this, and last second I'm going to switch my Executioner a row up, and he does the exact same thing and fools me with the play of, putting his Executioner in the back row. But just by putting my Executioner on that tile, I'm able to snipe his baby dragon, and it's all his backline troops just from that. What an Executioner right there. That was absolutely beautiful. We still lose a lot of HP right there, much more than I would have liked, but just from that Executioner placement right there, I was able to probably conserve a lot more than I would have had I not done that. Now, we're going to go ahead and put the Mega Knight in here for the whatever was in there, probably the Barb. Yeah, it was the Barb. And we're going to hopefully win this round. Unfortunately, he's got a 3-star Dark Goblin with Rangers. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch my placements up to the strong side right here with this comp. I'm going to go ahead and put this right here, and hopefully the prince is going to charge into the skeleton king, or skeleton, a giant skeleton, and hopefully I'm going to get a nice lineup with my Xe on something here. I do not, unfortunately. Get my nice giant skeleton stun right there. I get a huge Mega Knight stun on the back row. Good grief. But I am unfortunately probably not going to get this Dark Goblin out of the way. Very close, but we unfortunately do not get out of the way. We should play the guy in first right now. So let's go ahead and get this giant skeleton right here. Maybe we can get a 3-star giant skeleton. That would be kind of big. Unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to get it, but we might actually lose on this round right here. I'm going to go ahead and try and go for, okay, let's see what he's playing. He's got all of these on his back line right here. So he's playing a Ranger thrower comp. So he's probably going to switch out the Archer for the Baby Dragon last second. I think I'm just going to keep my troops the same. I think everything is nice how it is. I don't know if he has a prince or not. He does not. So maybe I should have put my giant skeleton 1 tile higher, maybe to do some more damage to hopefully get to his backline troops. I do not the best gameplay right here. We are going to lose. Hope you guys make it to Diamond this season. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.